a story that was published in the Hindustan Times, which says that the Chief of Army Staff met the Indian counterpart in Congo. Well, interestingly, the DGISPR said that he has never served in Congo, has never met, has never been close to that gentleman. And the interesting part is that Hindustan Times, which is a big newspaper, published this story without any proper investigation or any detail. So obviously there was a reaction from the Pakistani side. We'll be talking about this. The second story is about this Kartarpur, 4-kilometer long corridor. Now it is believed that maybe most likely on the 7th, or there's another date also set for that, when the two ministers of the Indian, either they will come. Now they have said that they have invited the Pakistani delegation to come to India for the talks. Again, for some odd reason, the Indians are trying to take the advantage and trying to take the benefit out of it. But interestingly, this was totally Pakistani initiative, and it was the, I think, definitely the Chief of Army Staff should be given credit for this, that he also took the initiative. The Prime Minister also accepted, and then eventually when the Indian Minister Navjot Singh Sidhu was in Pakistan, when the Prime Minister was taking oath, so things did, get into a certain frame that everybody was happy, especially the Sikh community that is living in India really appreciated this particular step by the Pakistani side. And they've hailed and they've praised the Pakistani leadership, not only in India, but people who are living in Canada, for that matter, in USA or UK or abroad or any other country. So this was something which was much needed, because that's like Kaaba for the Sikh community. Whether you talk about Kartarpur, or you talk about Faisalabad, or you talk about Punjab and Hassan Abdal, these are all important areas, very noble sites for the Sikh community living in India. So we'll be talking about this in detail, but let me have a word with the spokesperson of Foreign Office, and then I'll introduce my guest, and then we'll continue our discussion. But first, let's see what the Foreign Office has to say about it. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Saab.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Dr. Saab, thank you very much for taking out your time and talking to us. Now, first of all, sir, since the DGISPR also reacted about the story that the Chief of Army Staff met the Indian counterpart somewhere in Congo when they were serving together. He said it has never happened. The Chief has never served there. And on top, this is totally baseless. I'm coming from Hindustan Times, which is a very reputable, I would say, newspaper and a media company. Your take, sir, what Foreign Office has to say?
The DGISPR has put the facts right. But for me, this is not very surprising. The Indian media's obsession with Pakistan is amazing, even for me sometimes. And the frenzy that the Indian media generates when dealing with Pakistan is very, very surprising. But they are in an election year, and even their so-called reputable newspapers come out in very bad light when they are used as tools for propaganda by the Indian government or the Indian establishment. We, of course, want a positive and peaceful relationship with India, and that is what we have been trying to tell them for the last many, many years, especially since this government came in. But then pieces like this one that you are showing of Hindustan Times come up, which are not attributed to anything, and are talking of abstract things without any facts, any journalistic, reputable newspaper has to at least attribute whatever they are saying to something that can, that can make the news credible for its readers, which sadly they don't do. And they are quite obsessed when it comes to Pakistan. You don't find such things coming in our newspapers, because in our newspapers you have to make a conscious effort to bring in India in the main discussions or in the main limelight. We have the issues like corruption, administration, governance, other things. India is way down the list. You have seen the election that happened last year in Pakistan, and it's quite, and you can relate to that. India didn't even figure anywhere, whereas the election in India are in May, and already it is getting out of hand.
All right. Now Dr. Faisal, another important area regarding the update on Kartarpur Corridor, sir. What's the update, sir? Now, what's the latest on that? Because India basically, sir, is trying to blunt Pakistan's initiative, basically. Your take?
As I said, we have been very clear, especially this government, in the foreign policy that we are trying to run. The Prime Minister wrote a letter to the Indian Prime Minister, which lays down in black and white exactly what Pakistan wants to do with India. It mentions the Jammu and Kashmir dispute, its resolution. It mentions Siachen, Sirklik. It mentions other things. It includes terrorism. It says about SARC. The letter remains unreplied, and Indians agreed to the meeting of the foreign ministers in New York on the 20th of September, and they backed down on 21st. This confusion continued subsequently. We were very clear the Prime Minister persevered, and in November he had the groundbreaking ceremony of the Kartarpur Corridor. And then we started working on developing the draft agreement and interagency process, interministerial process. And the draft agreement was drafted, and it was handed over to the Indians this Monday. And the very next day, the Indians, and I have said this in today's press briefing, and I can say it here without any hesitation, in a very childish manner, between states, one-upmanship, they have just said that the Pakistani delegation should visit on the two sets of dates, I think 27th or 7th of March or something, and without saying anything on the draft agreement. And there is no draft from their side. The homework is yet to be done. Anyone can see that. But we would reply after due consideration in a mature manner. It will not be childish in the way the Indians have done it.
All right, sir. Dr. Faisal, thank you very much, sir, for the update. To talk about this further, we have with us in our studio, let me introduce you to our panelists. We have with us Dr. Asma Shakir Khwaja Sahiba. She's an author and a well-known analyst, ma'am. Thank you so much. And we have with us Tajammul Altaf, senior diplomat, former ambassador, sir. Thank you very much. And we also have Brigadier retired Aftab Afzal Sahab, senior defense analyst. Thank you very much, Brigadier Sahab, for taking out your time. Now, ma'am, you heard what the Foreign Office had to say. You also heard what the response of the DGISPR, because I really want a quick comment on this, and then we'll be also talking about the Kartarpur update. So, ma'am, your take. I mean, newspaper that is a very reputable newspaper ended up publishing a story which isn't correct at all, and that's the thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to replace reputable with popular, because popularity and repute are two different things. Because the way they have published this news, it doesn't say that, it doesn't indicate that they are reputable. But yes, they are very popular, and I think the publication of this news is evidence of their desperation to look for a loophole, to malign the Pakistan's efforts by their political government. Because I don't think so that at this stage, Chief of Army Staff of any country can come forward and overshadow what the political government is doing. So, and then people who read newspaper, they are not well aware always. So I think they wanted to create an impact at domestic level. Oh, this is something in which Pakistan Army is involved. So there is some competition or some other intentions in this whole process. And then to international community, they wanted to give message that Pakistan Army is dealing with this issue separately than the political government, because we
and the ISPR has very categorically said that only the governments can talk
Only the government.
Simple, yes.
And that is the reality, because in Pakistan, a democratic political government is in place. They have authorized, they have actually created a team to deal with the Kartarpur issue and with the on this issue with India, and all of them are either bureaucrats, civilian bureaucrats, or the political leaders. So there is no room for a military to intervene and take the charge. I don't think so. It makes any sense, and I don't think so that our army chief would ever do it. And then the whole the DGISPR has explained that whole information is wrong and incorrect. So this shows me that how they are actually in media warfare against Pakistan.
One of the aspects.
And but they are playing on loose wickets. At least they need to correct their facts.
We're talking about the wickets. I mean, I'll definitely talk about the comment regarding the googly ball by Sushma Swaraj. We'll talk about that in the second half. But see your take, sir. I mean, obviously you've been a diplomat. And
Faisal, it is exactly something, some sort of disinformation. Instead of we talking about Hindustan Times, a reputable newspaper, a popular newspaper, I take it as a vilified, well thought of move by the Indian establishment to have some sort of domestic, audience that yes, Pakistan is desperate, where his case is the otherwise. And for me, this is a very clear frustration now coming in one way or the other. The way we are so consistently taking forward this whole Kartarpur Corridor matter, and also we are absolutely clear that we really want peace with India. And to scuttle that process or to derail that process, there will be now very consistent campaign of disinformation coming from, top level or the establishment, and it will continue at least till the next general elections in India in April, May. And for that matter, it will not be surprising to me at all. It is something like surgical strikes taking place in Pakistan. Everyone knows where did these surgical strikes took place. No
in their
evidence at all.
imagination.
In their imagination. So something is coming out of that imagination now, because from this point onward till November this year, when we are planning this first time visit of the Sikh Yatris on the 550th anniversary of Guru Nanak at Kartarpur, and they are really now in a fix how to behave and how to create.
Sir, initially, if you remember, they were not sending their ministers, and it was the initiative of the Punjab government of India, and they basically approached, and then the gestures we all witnessed. But interestingly, later on, when they saw that was a very, very, great move by the Pakistani side, so they tried to, take the entire credit for that.
And not only that, but also they say our two ministers went there just for paying respect to the holy place.
Yes.
There was no mention, because a sovereign state is sending two ministers after some sort of deliberations or discussions.
Initially, they said that they went on their own will. Later on, they said, no, we
then
said
they
that.
said to
so there's a
pay
lot of
respect.
confusion prevailing.
That
sir.
will continue.
Indian frustration, Brigadier Saab. Is this what we are witnessing now? At all the levels?
I think it is the height of Indian frustration, and this very incident is very evident of the fact. Now these things are coming in the newspapers, and they also know it, that the rebuttal will very soon come from the other side. But one thing is very interesting, that before they do the plan or they launch any such propaganda move, they must be knowing that what is the outcome of that. And I think the wisdom demands that any such moves, they don't work nowadays in this very modern media.
Absolutely.
So this is just, I think, you can call it that sometime they get panicky and they change once the diplomatic channels, they are not getting some progress on that, or the bilaterally they are not getting some benefit out of that, then they go on this sidetrack business of the propaganda, making such stories. And then they also know that General Bajwa, the Chief of Army Staff of the Pakistan Army, he is a very well respected man
Yes.
here in not only in Pakistan, but all over the world. The people knows his reputation. So by launching these stories, they just want to create such effect internationally also. Perhaps that Pakistan army is interested, or they are directly involved in talking with the Indian army, and perhaps it is the political government or the military establishment, they are not on one page. So these things are, whosoever is planner,
Brigadier
I
Sahab,
think.
obviously, since you have also served in the Pakistan army, I just want to know, for example, they're like, Pakistan is one of the, I think we are at the top at the moment as far as sending troops to United Nations. Now, my point is, sir, that, whenever you, for example, if you're serving in Liberia or Congo or Bosnia, like I remember a lot of soldiers did go there as well. And let's suppose, sir, that the Indian officers are there as well, or the Jawans for that matter, in the same. I mean, normally the interaction takes place there, sir. Like we witnessed recently that, these Jawans and officers were dancing in the SU exercise. So that was something which everybody appreciated, that, see, I mean, something positive to talk about.
Right, whenever we go on the UN peacekeeping missions under the banner of United Nations.
Correct.
So then you are going for a very noble cause. And all over the world, the armed forces and the troops, they participate. But there the cause is only one, that is to establish the peace.
It's a common cause.
Yes. And that is under the supervision of United Nations. There, whether it is Pakistan, whether it is India, nobody can play any politics over there or want to take any advantage over the other countries' troops. But this is fact that once we are serving together on any UN mission, that we serve together and we come across, we meet the people. It's not only India is not the only country. We meet the troops of rest of all the world that they come and participate in the United Nations peacekeeping force.
Or in some other competition or games for that matter, like anything.
And India is no exception in this regard, I must say.
So this is a normal procedure if they meet or eat
Yes.
together or something of that sort. Now, ma'am, another important area is about, since let's talk about this Kartarpur. Now, dates have been finalized. It was a great initiative. The Foreign Minister of Pakistan said that, Imran Khan Sahib has played, actually has bowled a very nice googly. And the reaction from the other side, from Sushma Swaraj, was that, our ministers did play very well, that googly. Now, the point is, ma'am, I mean, obviously, these are the kind of dialogues which always take place. But the initiative basically was from Pakistan. We accepted it, and because we respect all the religions, we respect all the neighbors, and we would definitely allow them. We have allowed them. 4-kilometer long corridor is going to be opened soon. But now, since the Indians have realized that this is something, which the entire credit has gone to Pakistan, now let's malign them a little. Is this the case, ma'am? Because they would never ever leave any forum where they do not malign Pakistan.
Such strategy can have multi-layered objectives. One is like to just delay it because Pakistan should not take credit of it. Number two is like to satisfy the domestic vote bank, because as we know that the BJP government is unable to perform well during last 5 years. They are unable to meet their election
Look at the elections, yes.
promises. So
Strongholds.
Yeah. So by facilitating Sikh minority in India, they don't want to lose the or they don't want to compromise their Hindu vote bank or radical Hindu vote bank, which in comparison with the Sikh minority is much larger than the number of Sikh minorities. So they are I think they are into the delaying tactics. They want to delay the process. As we know, like when BJP government came into power, they seized the composite dialogue. They presented the idea of comprehensive dialogue, but they never ever implemented it. They made in this era of regionalism SARC dysfunctional. They tried to bully the neighboring states, and then after all their aggressive and irrational responses and behavior, Pakistan presented or Pakistan suggested to facilitate Sikh minority for, and not for a political cause but for a religious cause, because if Sikh minority has their religious place in Pakistan, they should visit it. And this is not something which is unique, because international law, international humanitarian law, all talk about access to religious
Absolutely.
places. So I think somehow, I can be wrong, but somehow BJP government is unable to comprehend that it is their Sikh minority which would be facilitated. And they would, and I don't know, like why they are trying to gain politically out of this thing. Recently, I can see this frustration in BJP government that they have to win the coming elections. They have to please the voters. They have to appease their traditional.
Is it primarily
vote
because
bank.
of the upcoming election, ma'am?
No, I think they want to, number one, delay the process of the execution or implementation of Kartarpur.
What will they get out of it, ma'am?
And see, Pakistan offered it, right?
That's the correct
Pakistan.
statement, yes.
Pakistan was the first one which said that we will build this corridor and do that.
It was our initiative.
Pakistan invited their ministers, right? Pakistan formulated the nitty-gritty of Kartarpur corridor and sent that to Indian counterparts. So Pakistan is the first country which sent the letter of invitation that come to our country and let's discuss that how to facilitate your minority.
All right.
And then, because it is their minority, so as per all the rules of hospitality and I think diplomacy, Ambassador Saab can correct me, Indian counterparts should come to Pakistan, and this is, someone correctly said it, this is so undiplomatic, so childish. I didn't want to use that term, but that instead of saying yes or no, they are playing with delaying tactics and asking Pakistan or Pakistani counterpart to visit Delhi. What type of point scoring can it create?
This question we'll just take to India now. We have with us SP Singh Saab, a senior journalist from India. Assalamu alaikum ji.
Assalamualaikum.
Can you hear me, sir? Hello?
Yeah, I'm getting your voice.
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Aapki awaaz aa rahi hai ji, bilkul. First of all, sir, would you like to also tell us about this particular issue? I mean, Pakistan took an initiative to facilitate our Sikh brothers living in India to come. You don't need to take any visa, and this is a holy place, and we will facilitate you in all the possible ways. Now, sir, why is the Indian government trying to make it so politicized and trying to sort of, point score on this also? Your take, sir.
I think both India and Pakistan are taking around the issue. There is a bit of seesaw going on because neither country is very clear on immediate objective. Yes, of course, there were great positive words from Imran Khan when he grew and the commitments with Medina, and then how would you feel if there were Muslims couldn't reach the height and just 10 kilometers away? And government is on good track. Compared with done. Suddenly, the employed discourse touches new heights, and then all of a sudden, this diplomatic visa starts, now I have turned the ball into your court, and one of your ministers, your foreign minister, Shahmad Qureshi, thinks, what Imran Khan was doing was just bombing a dignity at India by opening at the Kartarpur border. I think Pakistan has to get its narrative very straight. Do you take the words of Dr. Mohammed Faisal, who apparently is now your focal person for the corridor talk, seriously, when he says, corridor is because Islamic principles advocate respect for all religions and we want interfaith harmony and religious tolerance, or do I take the foreign minister of Pakistan seriously? He says, we were just bombing a dignity, Imran Khan was so clever. Nothing is happening on this side either. You have, an entire Modi, the entire Captain Brigade, suspecting everything that Pakistan does, and then you have the entire community in Punjab and a lot of sections of civil society in India who see the Kartarpur Corridor as a wonderful business trying to change the narrative between these two South Asian neighbors. Now, please remember, Imran Khan has to decide whether he needs to play big or he needs to fall for this diplomatic ping pong.
SP Singh Saab, SP Singh Saab, first of all, sir, because since the entire Sikh community, all the Sikh brothers living, whether in India, Canada, USA, UK, they all praised and hailed the initiative taken by Pakistan. So since you are also from the same community, can you also tell us that, in general, when you sit, when you talk with your family or your relatives for that matter, what is the general opinion about this particular initiative of Pakistan, sir, in public, in the Sikh community in India?
The general opinion always has been that there should be the corridor there, and it's not, general opinion is not limited to corridor. The general opinion between people on both sides of the Atlantic line always has been the people-to-people contact must have a greater bandwidth. Now the problem is that the ground realities of nation states are often in conflict with the larger public discourse. And this nation building is a very bloody project. Both Pakistan and India have done their bits to damage, that positive groundswell time and again. If it happens this time with the Kartarpur Corridor, just see what we will be doing. We will be actually creating problems for Imran Khan there, and we will be creating problems for an entire section of Indian population. That are people of South Asia that doesn't want to tell Pakistan at every drop of the earth, look, we have got a bomb, and then listen to the narrative that Pakistan has also got a big bomb. We need to move beyond that, and it's 24 or a few hectares and a 4 kilometer plus of corridor gives us a new opening that might actually lead someday in the near future to a resumption of the composite dialogue.
All right, sir. All right. Thank you so much, SP Singh Saab, for your comments. Now, this is what the Sikh community has to say. And obviously, anything good which you will do will never be appreciated by the Indians. And even if you think of something which isn't in their favor, they'll create a story out of it, sir. This has been the case for a very long time.
Exactly.
Once they said that we'll invade Pakistan through our media, or, always threatening Pakistan. The other day, the Prime Minister of India, Brigadier Saab, said that, I think Pakistan is not going to be sorted out by just one surgical strike. I think they need more. These kind of, irrelevant, irresponsible statements coming from so-called the largest democracy in the world doesn't make sense to me, at least, sir. Your take.
Well, India refuses to relent in its obduracy. This is now historically proven fact. This is not something new. We have been facing that since long time, especially for the last 5 years during Modi's government. And they are bent upon creating a facade or a wrong story or a situation out of nothing. So that is for me a self-defeating process which they are continuing blindly. And they are not coming to the realization what dividends could be obtained not only for Pakistan and India but the entire region and beyond. And they are living in their own dreams, and these dreams will never come true the way they are thinking, being the largest democracy in the world. And this is no way of handling things. Let me start by giving you 2 or 3 practical examples. We initiated this Kartarpur Corridor whole process, and we started it from the beginning, and we were very serious. We are very serious, and we will remain very committed and serious till the conclusion. Now, look at the non-seriousness from India from the very beginning. What happened in November last year, yes. They were not forthcoming, and they were made to be becoming forthcoming at the end of the day. That was first phase. Second phase is now when the Ministry of Foreign Affairs sent a draft agreement. Instead of sending a draft agreement, they proposed dates. This was going a step forward before doing the first step.
Correct.
What was that? Pakistan side appointed focal person, Director General South Asia, to carry forward the discussion in their delegation.
And that's Dr. Faisal himself.
And he himself was there. And it was supposed that India will first propose the name of their focal person. And then at all, if they are serious, they will send a counter draft. And at third stage, there will be an option of sending dates. You come to New Delhi or we are coming to Islamabad. So this was a hasty decision without contemplating the repercussions of that. And now, for me, it was just to beguile time, just to pass on the buck, and they will continue.
Sir, if the negotiations take place in India or in Pakistan, will that make any difference?
I think diplomatically speaking, not really any difference
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
But India now being bent upon on this thing that India will not open up, Pakistan should take all the initiatives, and instead of rejecting our offer, let us try and gauge what Pakistan responds. And our careful, very serious and well thought of reply is we will not say no. Prime Minister will take a principled decision and Foreign Office will follow. And this is my gut feeling. I may be proven right or wrong in the longer run. We will be seriously thinking to continue this move till it comes to its fruition.
Correct.
And for that, perhaps Prime Minister may agree that we should go to India. That will be the right approach at this point in time. That will be another setback for India. And tomorrow they can think how to derail that
Exactly,
thing.
you just read
the
my
way
mind,
it
Minister. This is what I was
happened
about to
during
ask you.
General Pervez Musharraf's time Agra summit.
I remember.
And the way it was, scuttled at the last minute, and we were taking, everything along board.
I still remember that day, sir. I was talking to Khurshid Kasuri Saab on the telephone during a show, and he said, well, maybe 24 or at max 48 hours
Yes.
till the Kashmir issue is solved. And it was like, I think that could have been the biggest news in the history of Pakistan. And eventually what happened was their establishment regarding a point, a comma, a full stop,
They took the whole.
they derailed it. Now, bringing us up exactly the same point. Do you think the Indian establishment or the hardcore mindset, the BJP, the philosophy basically, is going to prevail eventually, sir? And this entire process, initiative of the Pakistanis for the Sikh brothers in India is going to get derailed? Any probability of that, sir?
Okay, first of all, we see it is the very time and of media that every people are well informed everywhere, and inside India also people know what are basically the facts. So it's not a Kashmir issue. It is not a Sachin Glacier.
Exactly.
It's not a Sat Creek issue. There are some very serious strategic dimensions are involved, right? These are very simple initiative, and this is a very holy place for Sikh community. And this is going to be an international place for the Sikhs, because Sikhs are not only there in India, they are in all over the world. So they will be coming. But basically, the government of Pakistan has taken this decision in the larger interest of humanity, in the larger interest of Sikh community. And if we go a step ahead, so we can always say that since the majority of Sikh community is living inside India, so it is a big favor to India also, because initially it used to be demand of the Indian. In 1999, once their Prime Minister came to Pakistan and this friendship bus and other issues, so there they tabled this request also at that time to open this Kartarpur Corridor. And thereafter, they have been continuously pursuing in some way or the other during the time of General Pervez Musharraf also. But then this was a mobile attack, and then there were certain other impediments have been coming in to this issue. That after taking over by this present government, particularly Prime Minister Imran Khan, so he has taken a very big decision. And this decision is not only that it is a decision of any one man, it is a decision of Pakistani nation.
Absolutely.
So this is a very good gesture. Ever since this government came into power, they have been sending them different positive signals to restore those talks and through diplomatic channels and using all other channels to normalize the relationship.
But one more comment, because I still remember, and everybody was so happy, and I'm sure people, the regular public in India, must have been very happy as well. When Navjot Singh Sidhu Saab was in Pakistan, and he was a special guest, he was very close to the Prime Minister. and he comes and hugs the Chief of Army Staff. This is the true Punjabi way. You know, I'm a Punjabi, they're Punjabi, and we know this is the gesture, you know, you express your feelings. And the Indian media, from that day onwards, started calling him a traitor. Navjot Singh, who's their sitting minister, who's a brilliant person, I would say. And you started, you know, pointing fingers towards him. But he's a very, very tough man. I mean, he just went after them. But sir, this is what they do. I mean, if there's something which is very positive, still the establishment, and their establishment is like this with their media, sir.
Yes.
That's another unfortunate part, I would say. Whatever they think, they tell them to. I mean, for this particular story which I was talking about earlier, the Chief of Army Staff of India, they say that they have met the Chief of Army Staff of Pakistan.
Professor, if we just see,
Sir?
whatever the Pakistan has now promised to give them and open this corridor, it is not even those facilities of visa-free entry and all other facilities giving them between the two enemy countries, right? They have so many controversies.
Absolutely.
Still. But keeping all aside, that Pakistan has taken a very, very, I think, a positive initiative and taken this decision. And whatever we are offering them, this is the Saudi Arabia has not offered it to Pakistan whenever we go for the Umrah or Hajj, right?
Exactly, or to any other Muslim country for that matter.
Yes, and then in Jerusalem also, even after the Salahuddin Ayyubi also, it was never there. It was the Salahuddin Ayyubi who opened Jerusalem.
Absolutely.
Right? And after the Salahuddin Ayyubi, this is the Pakistan that they are giving those things. So the heart of the Muslim is very big. We respect peace, we respect humanity, and we want to go beyond these local political issues of border issues and Siachen issues and Kashmir issues. It has some religious disposition. So we must respect the religion at least. And inside India, the people know. Tomorrow that India may, they create some hurdles.
Sir, for example, there's another thing. I mean, this could be true also. That because I used to think that the number of Sikhs should be around 4 or 5 crore. I was told that they are around 12.5 crore. That's a huge number. And when you're talking about Punjab, sir, people are saying that this man, Navjot Singh Sidhu, could be the next chief minister because he is going to draw so much of support. Now, do you think Indians are trying to delay this process till the election? Otherwise, in Punjab, I'm sure they will lose because the support is going to go on that side, sir.
It has two sides. Once they want to gain some political mileage out of this issue by entangling Pakistan and getting some benefit in their next election.
Correct.
Then there is another aspect also that within the Hindu politics, within the Sikh community themselves also, there are some people, those who are with the government, of course, they are in power and they are trying to please them. But whether the Sidhu gets some benefit or not, he becomes chief minister tomorrow of Punjab or not, Pakistan has got nothing to do with that. When Pakistan offered this initiative, Sidhu was not there, right? He just came in that ceremony of oath taking, right? And he went there, so he became ambassador of peace.
Exactly.
So he just carried a very good message back to the Sikh community that the Pakistan has agreed. And it was had he not come, you mean that Pakistan had taken this decision much earlier, that what they want to do. So just treating him, making him or giving him a name of some traitor or something, I think that is very unfortunate. But the Sikh word over, they know that what the Pakistan has done for them, and it is that Pakistan has created history, that this history is nowhere in the world.
Sahab, you talk to any Sikh anywhere in the world, everybody knows about the story, they all know, and they are so happy, and they're so, thankful to the state of Pakistan for this initiative, that, whenever you talk to them, look at their, gestures and the way that they will express.
Emotion.
That is
Another one thing, that it's a tax-free, that we are not charging them when they come to Pakistan. We go for Hajj or Umrah, we pay the fee.
Absolutely, sir.
To those governments, right? Just imagine what Pakistan has
Visa-free,
given.
tax-free, just
tax-free, visa-free. What all we are offering them, this is one of the best example in the history of mankind. I think this is.
I think they should.
Yeah,
They should seriously. Ma'am, last 30 seconds, please. Quick comment.
See, whatever deals with peace, we have witnessed India always opposing it, whether it is pipeline for peace, whether these are these peace ambassadors like Sidhu. And I would like to mention that it was India which asked for the IPI pipeline. When Pakistan accepted their demand, India refused to buy it.
I remember, yes.
So it is always they're playing googlies, and when Pakistan is playing well, and they are running out of the stadium.
Well, let's see, ma'am, how time handles them. Anyway, sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Sir, thank you so much. And that's all we have for this week. I'll see you again. Till then, you take good care. Good night.